when you need me. Those tears are running, I see them clearly. I hope you're waiting for me, saving up those rivers to make us see. Don't drift too far away, don't drift too far away from me. Yeah, my oceans run.
Welcome back, 101. We already did this on the wrong stream, so we're going to do it again. Welcome back, episode 101, GhettoRig podcast. Vitality, guys. Comment, all that good stuff. If you don't know what to do, just comment Vitality. We'll make sure you get your credits to Vitality. They do have two locations
here today
now.
to make sure that happens.
Yeah. And then also like, subscribe, all that stuff. And then share our stuff. Share with your friends, family. Because what happens, we get popular. Then you can say you have popular friends. Then we can bring you here. You can talk. Now you can become popular. You know, snowball effect, right? Let's continue let's share the love, right?
Yeah, do you really remember exactly what you said, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we do have a guest today.
I already forgot about
Emily. Y'all seen her before. Eddie's girlfriend, my future sister-in-law. So yeah, Emily, kind of for those that don't know you, which probably not a lot that don't know you, just kind of quickly tell us who you are and whatnot.
I'm Emily. I'm 21. I work at Vitality, like he was mentioning, but I also do makeup.
And you guys already know, we do have a girl on an episode, which means this is going to get spicy. Eddie came prepared with questions. Questions to ask your girlfriend.
I'm nervous. Like right before we start, he goes, "I have questions."
The other day, I was listening to PBD talk with some
yes, he
the
did.
Nelk Boys actually, and he mentioned a book about that he proposed to his girlfriend before he got engaged. He said it's 101 questions to ask before getting engaged. Right, and I was curious. I was like, huh. So I thought about that book, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have Emily on today. Maybe I can go in there and find a few questions that I think is interesting. Maybe I'll pull one up. Or actually, I asked one to Jay. That was kind of a little funny.
Yeah. Now, I'll give some statistics if I know them. Like, these are not some shit that I make up. These are actual statistics that I've kind of looked into it. Now, I might be off a couple of percentage points here and there, but the gist of it is going to be right, at least from this first question that he kind of shared with me. So
the question 83 of this book is, in light of the number of divorces today, if you were to marry, why would your marriage last and not end up in divorce court?
Before you answer that, just to give you some statistics, right? About close to 50% of all marriages in the United States end in a divorce, right? Out of those, so the way they did the numbers, right? If it's like your second or third marriage, the percentage goes up to like 76%, right? Mm-hmm. Out of those 50% marriages, if the girl has a higher education, 90% of that is going to be women that have higher education. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women, which means woman usually says, hey, I don't want this anymore. We need to get a divorce, right? 90% of the time, children go to the woman, and alimony is paid from a man to a woman, right? But here's a caveat to this, right? If you're white and you're in a higher earning bracket, such as $250,000 and above, your divorce chances go down to 20%, which means...
I found a stat currently right now, 2023 is saying 35 to 50%.
35 to 50%, yeah, and that's because they're rounding it up. So if it's your first marriage, it's about 35%. If it's your...
No, they're saying second marriage is actually a lot higher.
Yes.
Second marriage is 60 to 70%
yes.
likelihood.
Yeah, so what they do, they'll combine all that together and say average is 46%.
I think what they're looking at also is like averages including different variables. Probably like how you say if you're white or you make more money or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So all of those averages, and then they break it down. So if you believe, like say, if you believe in religion and you're white and you're a higher earner, your divorce percentage goes down to 13% only, right? Which in the whole case, because just to give you an idea, guys, what's 13%? Out of 9 couples, not people, out of 9 couples, one will get a divorce, right? If you are in that higher bracket. But if you're like part of the average statistic, and she's educated, most likely out of the 10 couples, like 5 or 6 will get a divorce, and it's usually going to be initiated by the woman. So now go ahead and read that question again for her, because I'm sure she forgot by now.
Considering all those massive numbers he just gave you, why do you think your marriage would be one to last?
Are you saying like specifically ours or in general?
Yours. So like, why do you think that if you were to get married one day, yours marriage would last? Like for example, I'll give you my pretense on the question a little bit. Why I think. I'm one of those people who think that when you're married with someone, unless there's some kind of catastrophic mistake made, that they were kind of like in this together to figure out the problem, right? There is no like, I'm done with you. I don't want to worry about this. I'm walking away. Like that's how I feel about that.
I don't know. I feel like once it comes to that, like I'd be good with like communicating if something is wrong, or like also I feel like in a marriage like you're always gonna have to make sacrifices, and I feel like I'd be willing for the most part. I mean, it all depends what it is, but I feel like I'd be open to compromise and like making sacrifices.
So you're open, you're willing to compromise, like you said. Yeah. So that's one of your reasons. Okay.
So I think what's gonna work. I know what she's saying, like the compromises and that stuff. I think the best way I can demonstrate that is like you know how you kind of going down a country road, and it's just a 2-lane road. One goes this way, the other one goes the other way, right? But then at some excerpts, you have the chance, like where you can, if you're stuck behind a slow car, you have a chance when the line breaks up, you have a chance to go around it, pass it, go against the traffic, pass it, and get in front, right? And then after that, the other side can do it, right? So I think that's what she's talking about. It's like there are compromises and yeah, but I think the biggest problem in a relationships is partners don't understand each other. And why I say they don't understand each other, because we as men communicate differently versus women, how women communicate. And I think a lot of times what happens, guys will girl will come in and start saying something, and guys will, where's my tool belt? Let me fix it. But in a lot of times she just wants to talk.
It's funny, we've had this conversation quite a few times on the same topic, and I've admitted myself to being bad at that, right?
Yeah. So I think that's number one. But I think more than anything, I think just a guy needs to understand how to, I hate to use this word, but like conquer a girl. The same way a girl has to understand how to conquer a guy to get the relationship. So, which means they both need to understand what drives that specific person. And not like, oh, the specific person. In general, as long as you understand in general what drives men and what drives women, I think you'd be...
Now, Jay, let me ask you that question. Well, if you were to get married, why do you think your marriage would last?
Well, I think in my case, it would be like a vetting of 6 months to a year minimum, right? Like I would be vetting the girl 6 months to a year minimum.
And not like dating. What do you mean by vetting?
Or explain. Before what?
Before I say we're even dating.
Gotcha.
So in those 6 months, because see, I look at it this way. Listen, I already commit because, okay, so let me ask you some questions and then I'll go off of that. But I kind of know what you're going to answer, but let me go off of that. So would you say you're pretty picky when you pick a guy? Which means when you picked Eddie, you were pretty picky, right? Because you had other offers from other dudes to date, you go out with you, this and that.
They literally tried pushing her to date someone else instead of me.
Yeah, but would you say that you were pretty picky?
I mean, I don't think I was really picky. Like, I just saw him and I was like,
she doesn't think about it that way, but you're right. She had other chances, other options.
Well, he had to meet some certain... Okay, let's just go with this. He had to meet certain height requirement, right, for you. You wouldn't date somebody that's shorter than you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I've seen shorter guys that I think are attractive, but I don't know if I would date them.
Exactly. So then he had to have at least a little bit of charisma, right? Like, he couldn't just be a complete, like, dud. I didn't
even talk to him.
No, I know that. But, like, oh, I like him, but then you start talking. If he doesn't have the charisma, then it's a see you later, right? Mm-hmm. And then he would at least have to be a little bit funny, right? At least had to look good, at the very least, right? So you already have these things.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, I mean, because for her, right?
He was bashing on you a little bit at first, though. He was like, oh, no, I know you didn't talk to him.
No, I get that. But he at least had to come in to the proverbial table with something, right? For you to say, you know what? Like, not only I like the way he looks, but I also like his personality. I kind of think this relationship could work, right? So as a guy, you come in already with that. But to impress a guy is not that hard. Like, she's cute. She's young, she's feminine, she looks good, I'm good to go. Like, I could care less. Because, like, okay, once I smash, right, I hate to say it, but once I smash it, now it's up to her to earn the relationship. And this is where she gets that 6 months to a year to prove to me that she's worthy of the relationship. Because I already know she already accepted me as worthy of a relationship because we smashed. Otherwise, she wouldn't smash. Because a lot of the, like, I think in general, girls don't just smash. Are there girls out there that will smash just to smash? Yes. But majority of girls don't just do that. Like, they wouldn't even give you time of the day, right? Let alone smash. So we already smashed. I already know I'm there. So now it's her turn to prove to me that she wants the relationship. And for her to do that, those are the things that she needs on her own to understand. I don't need to tell her, hey, listen, I need you to do this for me to like you. She needs to figure that shit out on her own. And this is where she gets that year to 6 months.
So long story short, you would make sure to basically examine every part of this woman to make sure you're going to make
because it's a hell of commitment. You understand? Because I work hard. I'm going to give her my protection provision because at the end of the day, let's say we go out, right? Somebody says something dumb to her. I'm going to step in and probably punch him in the lip, right? Now, nowadays, especially talking about Florida, everyone has a concealed carry. What if they pull out the gun and shoot me? So I'm literally putting my life on a line to protect her. And what's the biggest thing that I can give her is protection and provision.
Worth it at the end of the day, when someone says some dumb, if they just say some dumb shit.
If they say some dumb shit, but if they clearly come in and smack her on the ass or just,
that's different.
They're completely rude. Yeah, you're gonna step in and say something. Well, they pull out a knife, they pull out a gun. Now the situation escalates, right? So I'm gonna put my life on the line to protect her, and then on top of that, I've done a lot of things in life to get to where I'm in, like to get in a pretty decent position in life where I can provide and provision. So if I'm gonna give all that to her, I want to make sure it's not just like you know how they have that in Spanish. They have like when the girls see in a different Hispanic country, gringo, they're like, "Ay, mi visa, sorry, mi vida, you know. I want to make sure that's not it. Like, and then you're gonna make sure that she's gonna be a good mother for your children.
That's one of the biggest things I feel like.
You want to see in the beginning. I don't think intellect matters that much because you can kind of, in my opinion, you can kind of teach her and guide her in where. Like she needs to be, because kids gonna go to her and ask her questions. I need her to be able to explain these questions and raise some smart kids. And plus intelligence is genetic, so if you marry someone that's a little bit on a lower side of the spectrum, those kids might come out not so intelligent.
Let me ask you another one. What qualities do you see in your parents, and I think this means like your parents' relationship, that you expect to have in your future spouse?
Question.
Yeah, Emily, that's you.
That's a good. Think about it. Breathe it. We're not putting you in the spot at all.
No, not at all. Not one bit.
Go ahead, you answer first.
One thing that I see for sure is like even though they've been together for so long, they're still like lovey-dovey with each other. That's one thing that I feel like it's important. Like it's not just like it's like, oh, whatever, like we've been together for so long.
Which you see in a lot in older couples.
Mm-hmm. But another thing too, like when they argue, it's like 2 seconds, like, why'd you leave this here? And then 2 seconds later, they're like, okay. And I feel like that's good because if you're like holding grudges and like not talking to each other and whatever, like there's no way that'll work out in the long run. Let
me ask you this question. Say you're in a relationship, say you got married, say you've been married for 30 fucking years. Mm-hmm. And then you're going out and whatever, and you catch this other girl or a woman look at Eddie differently. Like, you know how girls will look at the guy differently, like, oh my God, it's so cute. They got that face to them, right? And you can catch that real quick. Would that make him more attractive to you?
You're saying later on, like,
would that make you think that he is more attractive than you originally thought he is?
I mean, I don't think so, because if I already think you're attractive, like, nothing's going to change whether you're more attractive or not. Like, you're already attractive.
But would you get mad if that girl looked at him, like, sideways? Or
if she just looks, I don't care. Yeah. You can look all you want, but if she tries to cross that line, then...
What would be crossing the line?
I don't know.
So you telling me you're going to be like...
Bitch!
Okay.
What if
what if she's bald?
What if we ever got like pranked, like like some of those YouTubers do, where they like have girls purposely go up to guys that are in like
at a restaurant or something, like the waiters and like, oh, you're welcome,
and start flirting with the dude on purpose. You're gonna RNC the bitch?
I mean,
So I'm wondering why she wanted to do jujitsu. You know, like that's why she's like.
Because he wouldn't leave me alone.
You got Eddie from the corner. Ground and pound. Ground and pound.
Mount. Go mount. Go mount.
Just like, that reminds me of when we were at the club and me and Bailey went to the bathroom and I was like holding my phone like this and I was like, if somebody comes up to me, like I'm gonna whack him with my phone. And he's like, you know jujitsu. You could have done jujitsu. I was like, yeah, right.
And I told him, like, you know how proud I would be if I like saw a commotion and I go over there and Emily's got this bitch asleep on the floor, or even better yet, a dude.
Yeah, I was talking about dudes because like I don't think at a club a girl's gonna do anything to me.
He's a fucking dude.
You know what would be like an asshole, but also a boss move? After she puts him to sleep, just like pushes him off of her, gets up, spits, and kicks right in the fucking ribs.
Nobody would do anything about it. Nobody would do anything about it.
It'd be like, you bitch.
And everyone would walk by and be like, this pussy just got choked out by that chick.
They got spat off. They got kicked at the same time.
Oh, shit. What's up, Natalie?
They would all be recording.
Shit, that's hilarious. Oh, shit.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Eddie?
For my parents thing?
Yeah.
The absolute confidence they have in each other. Like, in their decision making, both ways. Like, they're open to telling each other, like, what their thoughts, but they're very, like, extremely confident in each other with when it comes down to anything important.
Yeah.
I feel like they know each other so well. It's kind of like they know what decision they're gonna make. Or at least most of the time, they feel like they're gonna know, which may maybe not be the best because you might make the wrong decision and you might feel confident. But the confidence that they have in each other is insane.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with your parents. Like, it'll be something like your dad comes and tells your mom, like, oh, like, why'd you decide to do this or whatever, and your mom be like, oh, blah blah blah, and he'll just be like, okay, and like not even really question it, and the other way around too. But
yeah. More the other way around, to be honest, with my mom to my dad. Like, any decision he makes, she doesn't really bat an eye out twice, or she'll maybe ask him why or whatever if she questions it, but she's never gonna go against him usually and tell him that he was wrong or whatever. Like, nothing like that.
Because she trusts in his authority, like in his leadership, right? Like, that's super important. Like, because I always say this, like, a lot of times girls don't know what they want for lunch. You know what I mean? A lot of times it comes difficult to them because, and I get, I have my guess why it could be like that, because a lot of times, like, I don't know, is this gonna come out right? Like, they have so many questions that go in their head that they're like, and they just go into this panic mode, like, I don't know what to like. Where guys were like, okay, 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Okay, we're gonna do this, and a lot of times it just relieves them. We're like, oh, okay, we'll just do this, and shit happens. It's his fault because he made the decision, right? Like, so I think, but yeah. But in my case, I'm glad, like, I'm thankful to my father to show me what you shouldn't be doing.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't see where that was going. When you said thankful, I was about
to say not to do. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, I was like, not to do, but I like stopped myself in the middle. I was like, hopefully he's not saying something good, and I sounded like a dick.
No. You wouldn't. There's nothing you can say that would sound like a dick. And I don't hold a grudge or anything, right? Like, I'm actually thankful.
We thought you did that night on the cruise.
Well, what did I do? I don't remember.
The night you were mad at us on the cruise.
I wasn't mad.
We thought you were going to be mad for a month.
Hey, you admitted it. In the moment, you were pissed.
Yeah, and then I saw your face. I was like, all right, we're good now. We're good. It's just a joke.
He's like, I scared him enough. We're good now. Just so people who don't know, we decided to be little gremlins and go into Jay's room on the cruise because him and Rodolfo were staying together. And let's just say we violated Jay. Or Rodolfo violated Jay. And the reaction... In his sleep.
Now,
with the Vader mask on.
Yeah. It was not a Brokeback Mountain moment. It was not. So get your minds out of the gutter. What they did...
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
He did...
13 naked cowboys.
Yeah, he took the card from the room and just, like, lightly touched my right cheek, my butt cheek. And then I was like, I woke up and I fucking threw the mask. I was like, what the fuck?
Are you guys fucking retarded?
Yeah. And they saw my face and then I saw their face. I was like, all right, I'm just going to go back to sleep now.
Bro, he was
I walked out the room and I was like, he's going to strangle all of us.
Oh, I went to sleep thinking about it. Like, oh, Jason be pissed tomorrow.
Literally, we were in the dark.
He's not gonna hang out with us. He's gonna go hang out with Ozzy
tomorrow.
He's just gonna go hang out with Ozzy tomorrow. We're not even gonna see him.
First thing I did was walk in like,
alcohol. No, the funny part was, the next day, like, I remember seeing you, and I asked you, like, oh, you good? He's like, bro, I didn't even care afterwards. I went back to sleep.
The first thing we saw, you guys FaceTimed. You and Rodolfo FaceTimed.
Yes.
And the phone was just there, and Jay goes to the camera, and he's, like, super serious.
Oh, yeah, I tried to act.
And Eddie's like, what's up, bro? And you just started laughing.
Yeah, so it was pretty good.
That's funny.
What about you, Miggy?
On the thing.
What?
The question, bro.
What was the question?
What's something you see in your parents that you would like to see in your spouse?
Was the question like the relationship, or could it?
It just
be
said
like,
parents. It didn't necessarily.
Could it be like your mom, like something that you see in your mom that you would?
I think they left it like that on purpose
like,
for people who like only had a single.
Yeah,
parent,
like I could have said,
right?
I want to do this, this, and this, like my mom or whatever. So.
But what they're asking for is to look for in your spouse. So what's something, a quality you can see between your parents, whether it's about their relationship or just about the parent as a singular, and what's one of those qualities you'd like to see in your spouse?
They're very loving to each other, and they cared for each other. They took care of each other. That's, I mean.
Yeah, so when the guy's sick, make that chicken soup. When the lady's sick, help her fucking wash the dishes, I guess.
Exactly, like
when in sickness and in health, right? That's what they say.
Yeah,
when somebody's sick at home, mom takes care of them. So
yeah,
when my mom was sick, he took care of her.
That's nice.
That's all it is.
Very nice.
All right.
I think I have a couple more. Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up the Discord.
So, what are some basic not have and must have qualities in a person you'd want to spend the rest of your life with?
Okay, so what are the icks? I guess
why are these questions so
making you think?
They're deep. I tried finding like basic questions, but there were none. These are the most basic ones. The other ones are like literal conversations. Huh?
Not have.
Must have and must not have. Like, for example, must not have would be like, I don't want to be a drug addict. Of course, right? Like things like that. Or, for example, let's say you really didn't like video games. He cannot be a guy who plays video, things like that, whatever. Which, we already know you're fucked on that one. But
one thing annoys me is when I'll introduce a girl to a group of my friends, and everybody's actually trying to talk to her and trying to get some idea who she is and this. And some girls will be quiet, very cordial, respond. And some of them will start talking too much. And there'll be a subject and they'll blurt out something dumb. And I'm like, please don't ever fucking talk again. You know what I mean? Like, don't say dumb shit. Because that reflects on me. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows me. I have a certain type of, I hate to say it, certain status within a group. Like, when you say something stupid, they're like, hey, yo, that doesn't, some did not click, there. Like, why is he with her?
I feel like that's a skill that everyone needs to attach themselves to, is not over speaking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times when you catch yourself just saying too much.
Yeah. Or when you talk about like, if you don't know for a fact, then just say my opinion. If you know for a fact, then just say, hey, it's not my opinion, this is what I know.
Right. I had a customer one time tell me, thank you for telling me that you don't know. It's good to not know something, because if you don't know something, you just don't know it.
Yeah. Ignorance is a bliss, I guess they're saying. But then also, if you're ignorant, there's nothing you can do about it, But yeah, like
but also,
you can learn.
Yeah, you can
another
learn.
thing to piggyback off of what Eddie was saying was one of the biggest things that I learned growing up was not saying more than you have to.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big thing a lot of people need to learn, and they're almost like oblivious to it.
Yeah, and I find this with girls a lot, because what happens, they'll get the attention from other people, and this is their currency, right? Like the attention. The more attention they get, the more they talk, which a lot of times comes off, and then people go home, they're like, bro, that girl was a fucking airhead. You know what I mean? You can be a complete airhead if you keep it quiet. Everyone is gonna think that you're smart.
But I mean, with the example that you were giving, it some people will some girls will automatically click with your friend group and
See, this is the example we're talking about. No, I'm joking. Continue.
They'll automatically click with your friend group, and that's one thing that will make the girl feel a little more comfortable to just speak and not be super oh my god, I need to make sure I'm saying the right thing. But another thing, if you guys are out drinking, that might be something that affects what she'll say and not think about it. So you can't always judge somebody off of something.
No,
like
you
that.
you can, but you know,
Ready?
she's a representation of.
I have a must-have. Your friends have to be our friends. My friends have to be our friends. I've witnessed too many relationships where there's almost like each person has their friend group, and they almost like don't enjoy the other half of their friend group, right? Like their spouse's friend group, and I feel like that is one of the best things about my relationship.
Well,
where our friend group is like Bailey's part of our thing, which is her friend. Rodolfo and Miguel are part of our thing, and we're all like a big friend group together. To the point where now it's like Bailey hangs out with Lazarito and Miguel hangs out with Rodolfo. Like even though like we brought each other together, we're all friends now, and that's like part of the group. I've seen relationships where it's like a person of our group can be part of it, but like their spouse isn't.
But what if you
like Lynette and Arthur are good anthem.
Yeah. What if you? Which usually probably won't happen. The chances of this happening are very slim. But like you like the girl, she's perfect, exactly what you're looking for, and she has a group of friends that are hoes, like complete fucking hoes. You know what I mean? Like that's when. But usually, if she has that kind of a group of friends, it's a good chance she's a
hoe too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why I said it's
very unlikely.
I mean, it's that saying, like, I don't know if people say it in English too, but it's like in Spanish, they'll say, like, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are.
Who you are.
Thing.
Now, I met a girl, I'm not going to name names, I'm not going to dox anyone, and her friend, I can clearly say, is a fucking cuckoo bird. But she's probably one of the nicest people I ever met.
For the girl, not the friend, right?
The girl, yeah. And I'm glad, I'm going to leave it at that. You know, it's not for me, but it's somebody within the group, you know, which I think is pretty cool, you know. So somehow she didn't get ruined.
This is my thing. Like, girls are too.
They're influenced by the fucking outside.
They're so
outside
like good at peer
forces.
pressuring each other.
Yeah,
especially like.
They're communitarian, bro. One of them does it, everyone wants to do it because it feels safe.
And not only that, like jealousy and envy play a big part of a female relationship.
I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate today.
Tell me, Jay. Dig it, Jay. I mean, I'm used to him being the devil's advocate.
Women are very good at peer pressuring each other. Would you say that men are very good at manipulating women?
I think. In general, women are much better at manipulating men, and the reason it's like that because
then men are manipulating women.
Yeah, the reason it's like that because back in the day, men were the ones that would go out there, hunt, fight, bring the bacon home, right? And if the wife stepped out of line, they once in a while would raise the damn hand, right? So I think women had to develop mentally to manipulate the guy not to get this. So, and I think they have this. I think they're much better in manipulating. In general.
I also think that one of the reasons they're so much better at manipulating is they're the bread holders of what we want.
Yes. Yeah, literally. But now what happens when the guy has other options? That's when the guy kind of like...
I guess maybe...
That's when he can be the bigger manipulator.
Yes.
Maybe I said that wrong. Maybe what I meant to really say is men are better at detecting that peer pressure or that manipulation that leads to peer pressure compared to women to other women.
Because we have more, I think on average, I'm not going to say this because there are men who are not like this and then there are women who are.
Yeah.
On average, I feel that from anecdotally, I'm saying this. I feel like men are more independent thinkers.
Yes. Because a lot of times you'll say an opinion and an idea to do something and the guy is like, wait a minute, we ain't doing that because of this, and this. We're more argumentative. Like, I'll agree with you if its idea is smart, you know, like I'll process it. It's smart idea.
Sometimes when the idea is smart, we still like look for things just to like make them apparent.
Make it perfectly, you know, unbreakable. Yeah. I think that's the thing with guys, just being non-agreeable. I think that on a non-agreeableness scale guys go up definitely than women. Women more like, you know, they're more communitarian because, you know, power in numbers, right? Versus like on their own. So
right.
Unionize.
Yeah. So now talking about that, hey, if you go to Discord, there is an article. I know it already has more questions, but
I do, but we can go ahead.
No, that one right there. Click on that. So I don't know what you guys think. Let's see this. Top 3 places where married women are most likely to cheat on their husbands.
Are we not going to the gym afterwards to see you in this nice ass thing? What happened to the gym after the pod?
The
gym. The gym. So 3 places where they're more likely to cheat. Okay.
All
so
right.
these are like countries or
I don't know. Let's see.
establishments during girls' night out.
Do you agree with this?
100%.
Yep. And I'm catastrophic.
Why do you agree with that?
Because what happens during girls' night out?
What happens?
What's the number one thing that happens during girls' night
Emily,
out?
what happens during girl night out?
Do I look like I have girls' night out? I have one friend. Like
Me and the girl go out.
girl night out. Like there's no multiple.
So what happens during?
What happened during the cruise then?
What do you
Or
mean?
was it a cruise? A bachelorette party.
Well, we ain't down there. We're
That's
talking
like
about
girls' night out.
We're talking about girls' night out. It's not anything to do
I
with bachelorette
guess.
party yet. Hold on, that's not a girls' night out. That's completely different.
Okay.
What happens during girls' night out? What usually happens?
The girls get together and they
They get dressed.
go to
It
They
a-
get
depends on the
pretty.
group of girls.
They go out to a nightclub or a bar. What do they do in a nightclub or a bar?
But why do you have to go to a nightclub or bar? You can't just like go to a nice restaurant. sit
Sure, you
down,
go
have
to a nice
drink.
restaurant and you do what?
You eat and have a drink.
Have a
or-
drink. What happens when you drink alcohol? Especially we know a lot of the girls are lightweights. What happens when they have 1 or 2 drinks?
You fall down the stairs.
And they get a little bit drunk.
Saucy.
Yep, they get a little bit drunk, a little saucy. The guard starts going down, and what happens then?
It depends
One
on
of the
what
girls-
type of alcohol you're drinking, Jay.
Yeah, one of the girls.
Tequila. Dun, 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 dun.
One of the girls
Dun,
in the
dun,
group
dun,
that's the big
dun.
hoe, because every group has one, will be making out with a dude or something like that, and be like, "Come on, girl, you don't and like you do that too." And this is what happens, that pre-pressure, and then they end up fucking doing some dumb shit. That's not very conducive for the relationship. That's why I'm against girls' night out. It's completely like that's not a relationship behavior.
All right, next.
So my only thing with girls' night out is to the club specifically because clubs literally are made for sex.
Yeah, they are.
They are
Literally for that.
made for sex.
Yeah. Well, at least it gives the illusion for sex because that brings the dudes who spend the money, right? And what do you need in a club? You need hot girls and liquor, right? Which gonna bring the dudes, gonna bring the money, right?
The
Right.
2 B's, bitches and bottles.
Yep.
That's all you need in the club.
in a hotels. Read this. I'm not understanding what they
In
mean
an
by this.
exotic location, hotels is a big place. I could see this.
Yeah.
Taking a vacation to an exotic location can also be an excellent setting for your wife to cheat on you, which is why careers that require long periods spent away from home tend to produce the most unfaithful partners.
When she's on that beach in Bali
Mitigating
and that
factor,
dude comes to change
She's
her
getting
sheets.
digged down.
Number 3, public places. What?
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
go to the grocery
No, you
store.
can't.
No,
You can't go
let's
nowhere.
read this
Doesn't
because I
matter.
know that.
Sometimes there might not be any reasonable cause to trigger a married woman to be unfaithful. The mere thrill of having casual sex and not getting caught can be appealing to some women. This can occur in virtually any kind of
Okay, you can
location.
skip this point because this is about a very, very small percentage of women. I don't think women are
It says
usually.
even in churches.
Yeah, I don't
Go to
think.
What is she, a nymph?
Yeah, no, yeah. This is a very small percentage of women. Even nymphs, like even the girls that like love that shit, they don't just randomly have sex with the dudes. They want to
do.
have.
An actual nymphomaniac will.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, actual nymphs will literally fuck the mailman and then go fuck the cashier at the grocery store. And then on the way home, she sees a homeless dude. She'll pick him up and she'll fuck him. Like, those
No
are
shit.
nymphs. Yeah.
Ladies, hit me up.
Like,
But
bro,
what's
someone
the
that's
percentage
addicted.
of
You have,
those?
you have to think about it. Think of it like drugs, bro.
Yeah, but what's the percentage of those women?
Yeah,
Slim
no,
to none.
stupid low.
Yeah, that's
Stupid
why
low.
I'm saying this third point is bullshit. But I do agree with the hotels and exotic location, like the girl trips.
But no,
I agree with
no,
girl
Miggy's about
trips
to
and I
look
agree
up
with
the-
Wait,
of
no,
Tinder.
this isn't necessarily saying. This isn't necessarily saying that they're doing it in public places.
No, I know,
They're
know,
saying
but
they
they
can
They're
encounter
saying
someone
that
in
that's the
public.
things that
I
will
know.
trigger the cheating.
Yeah, but I
So
don't.
girls' night out, being in a hotel, and then a public
What he's trying to
place.
say is that this point is trying to get at the point that it's not public places, it's women that are gonna cheat regardless of them going out or not.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what this is basically
Yeah.
saying.
but I think the very first or second point, I completely agree with. Girls' night outs and girls' trips are fucking. They're the bane of any relationship. Every girl doing that, I don't know, man. You want to reconsider your relationship.
Go to church. Don't have sex at church.
Yeah, and then if she doing that,
Talking about
then
relationships, I actually have a little thing in
Go ahead.
relationships too that I saw. So we talked a little bit about this. You guys heard of Ian Gary and his wife?
yep.
Miguel, you know who this is?
No
So Ian Machado Gary is this UFC fighter. He's currently undefeated welterweight, up and coming. He's fighting this weekend. His second last name is his wife's ex-husband's last name.
Yep, it is.
So he took on the last name of his wife's ex-husband that still lives in their house.
Yep, is his dietitian.
Is his dietitian's got him on a vegetarian diet. Just wanted to put that out there. And he eats meat. The vegetarian eats meat, but he has Ian on a vegetarian diet. And he took the guy's last name. He lives in his house. This is also his ex-wife. Ian's wife is
40-some years old.
Yeah, I was just gonna call her what she is, a cougar. And so yeah, what do you guys think about?
Wait! You missed a very, very, very big point. This lady, when she was 20, she wrote a book.
I actually have something on this. It's a absolutely bullshit satirical book. It's 7 pages long. You know that? It's a joke on it. It's not serious. It's not serious. I figured that out the other day. I was watching.
What do you mean it's not? What does the book say?
It's apparently like 7 pages of satirical like comedy content on it. Apparently, it's not like an actual guide.
What's the book about?
It's called How to Be a Wag. Look it up, man.
How to Be a Wag.
Which WAG stands for something about basically older women finding young athletes.
Mm-hmm.
How to Be a Wag. WAG. What does it stand for? What does WAG stand for again? No.
Used to refer to wives and girlfriends of high-profile sportsmen and women.
Yeah. So she wrote a book at 20, how to become somebody's wife and made an athlete to make money. Now, if anything, she's, I think, 20 years older than him.
Yes.
So what the fuck were you thinking, Ian Gary?
I loved him up until this.
This is the
great fighter, undefeated.
Simplest shit he's done. I mean, look at her. She probably has another maybe 5 fucking years of looking decent. Not good, decent. After that, she's gonna look like a fucking grandma.
I don't know, man. I saw this and it just really disappointed me, man.
Is the baby his?
I was on the Machado train until I saw this shit.
It looks like him, so I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, the baby's his, and that's why he took on the last name of the thing for non-confusion of for the killed children.
Wait, the babies is the boxers or the ex-husband?
It's the UFC fighters.
Bro,
but what do you mean the non-confusion?
Yeah.
So because the guy still lives in the house or whatever. I don't know. This is what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong.
But what does the last name have to do with the confusion? That makes no sense.
I don't know.
They're a throuple.
Everyone's calling him a cuck, basically.
He is.
Everyone's calling him a cuck.
Well, the husband
seems
of
to be a trend these days.
The ex-husband is definitely a
trend.
cuck, you know.
The ex-husband is definitely a cuck.
Yeah.
Ian seems to be a bit of a cuck as well, cause to be living in the same house as the ex-husband, I could.
Bro,
never.
can you imagine you live with a guy that gives you a constant reminder that he's been inside your wife? I don't know. I can't deal. Like, I'm sorry, we're territorial. I can't deal with that shit. Sorry,
Not
it just
only
doesn't
that,
work.
You take his last name?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, I don't know if I like that, because if that man went into my fridge, ate my last fucking, like, let's say Uncrustable,
Bro,
and then he looks at me and he's like, "Guess what? I also ate." I can't deal with that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Nah, I mean, I assume they're like friends because he's his nutritionist and everything. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Ian Gary's a fucking idiot.
Apparently, Apparently, he threatened to sue Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
Because Sean Strickland came out and started talking about it, and he's threatening to sue him. And everyone's
sue him for what?
And everyone's calling Ian a bitch because they say fighters don't sue each other. This and that.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's another article here we have, and apparently, the article says you can use math to predict whether your relationship will last.
Shit.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, you know, and that right there. Up. Yep. Click on that. Perfect. So read a bit about this. See what they're saying.
Just read that first thing. What is it?
Want to read that? Are psychologists fortune tellers? Well, if one of the purposes of psychology is to understand and thus predict behavior, then yes, there's a little bit of fortune telling involved. Not all psychology is about predicting the future, but if you give a relationship researcher a few pieces of information, they'll be able to tell rather accurately how strong a relationship is and how likely you are to stay together. Trust me, I didn't want to listen to these theories at first either. They sound so callous. In these models, relationships are viewed as mostly transactional combinations of risks and rewards, of contributions and benefits. That is, people enter relationships because they get something out of it, and what they get is usually more than what they give.
Stop. People usually get something out of it, right? Out of a relationship. Let's unpack that for a little bit.
I don't think it'd be called a relationship if there wasn't any exchange of anything.
So let's unpack that. Can you blame a girl for wanting safety and security in a relationship?
No, absolutely not.
Can you blame a girl when the girl says, I want somebody that is a leader? No. Can you blame a girl that says...
Well, I mean, a little bit, because statistically, most people aren't leaders. So
correct. But can you blame her for wanting a leader in a relationship?
No, not really blame her, no.
Can you blame her for being ambitious? Can you blame her for wanting a guy that's ambitious or hustles? You know, all of these words for basically saying the guy earns money, which in turn, what's going to provide? Safety, security, right? Can you blame a girl for wanting that? Like, a lot of guys will go out and say, well, she's a gold digger. Well, every single woman is a gold digger, just some of them hide the shovel better. So what's your fucking point? They all are gold diggers at one point, right? Like, I can't blame a girl for wanting that out of a relationship. Now, let's look at the guy. Can you blame a guy for wanting a hot wife?
I mean, you can't. What do you mean blame him? Like, call him something?
Yeah, because he's getting that out of it. You can't blame the guy for wanting a good-looking wife, for wanting a wife that is a dutiful wife, the one that's going to raise good children. These are the things we want from our relationship, from our couple, right? That's the reason we're with them, because they can add the part that we don't have. So a lot of people will go in. I don't know if they're throwing shade on this by saying that. I already disagree this part. Like, it's dumb. Like, this is dumb. Like, there's no such thing as unconditional love. What the fuck do you mean unconditional love? That doesn't exist. Sorry, if tomorrow one of you became a drug addict without any hope of reverting back to normal, would you blame the other person for leaving you? No. Where's the unconditional love?
I mean, there is unconditional love, but I feel like there's only one person in this world that I would have unconditional love for, and that would be my mother.
Well, she did give birth to you, so I mean,
that's
because
and the reason why is because I know that she would give the same back.
Well, because she's gonna love you unconditionally. Meaning, if you were even a drug addict to the last moment, last breath, she's gonna say, or your breath, she's gonna say, no, that's not my son. My son is better than that. You can't expect that from a couple.
I believe that over time develops with a couple.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't. And I'll tell you why I don't. Because you know what's the oxytocin, right? Like the hormone that your body releases. What happens is, well, back in the day, what happens when the girl sleeps with a guy, she releases a bunch of oxytocin. They call it the love hormone, right? That ties her to the guy, right? Like literally, that makes her think that the guy, the whole love thing, right? But then when woman gets pregnant, and back in the day, they used to give natural birth, right? When they do natural birth without any C-sections or any medicine, they go through a lot of pain, right? And that pain promotes levels of oxytocin that are much higher than anything else in the world. So she actually starts loving her children more than her husband. But this love is completely different than for her husband, right? That's why a lot of times mothers will choose their children over the husband no matter how much they love them. So I don't think you can develop that in a relationship, woman and a man, because the amount of pain she had to go to in her body dumps that oxytocin because it relieves the pain, right? Gives that euphoric sense when it hurts. That's why she falls in love with the baby. And that's this is science.
This reminds me of a freaky, question I saw today that they were asking women, would you kill for your child?
Yeah. And women, no woman, like majority of women say yes. Where's the knife or where's the gun?
But they were showing a bunch of women that said no, actually. But then they showed, it was basically like comparing men and women, like one of those things. And it was showing a bunch of women who said no. And then there was Cain Velasquez. You know that story with.
Yeah.
So there was this old UFC fighter, babe.
His daughter got
it was I don't think it was his daughter, it was his niece, I think.
Or somebody got raped.
Yeah, she got molested at a preschool or while they were taking care of her. It was one of those places, right? It was like a
pre-K,
like pre-K or daycare is what it was. And he attempted, I think he ended up killing the dude or attempted to kill. Yeah. He like drove him off the road and I think shot at him or something like that.
Those women that said no, I wonder what type of birth they had. If there was a natural birth or there was like a C-section or like drug-induced birth.
But like even if they say that, that's bullshit. Like I feel like they're saying that to be like, oh no, I wouldn't kill anybody. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like that's bullshit.
I know what you mean, because a lot of times girls like to be politically correct.
Yes. I mean, I guess it all depends. If they're like, let's say your son is like, I don't even know. Like,
I have a good example. So I was out getting in some trouble last Friday.
What kind of trouble?
The girl that was with me, she had this dress on, right? But it was one of those dresses where it was like a shirt that came down here, and then she had like shorts on, and the shirt kind of extended back down, kind of looked like a half skirt, but the front was open. So it looked like a damn cape. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit, you look like Superman in a cape. And then I turned around, and my friend's girl was there, and turned around to her. I'm like, oh, look, she looks like Superman. She looks at me, looks at her, goes, girl, don't listen to him. You look great. And just walks away. You know what I mean? I was like, you know that was fucking fake, right? Just to make you feel good. That shirt looks like shit. She's like, yeah, I know. She's like, yeah, I know. I was like, why do fucking girls say this shit? Like, why do you have, like do you feel
and they're so good at reading it most of the time.
Yeah.
They're so good. Like, most of the time when Emily's like, bro, she was like bullshitting it.
Yeah.
Or like being fake. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yes. And it's like, why are you guys like that with each other when you all know you're doing it?
Yeah.
Right?
There's
like,
so many females that come to Vitality, for example, that like, they're like so overly nice that like it drains your energy, but like it drains your energy because you know it's fake.
Oh, my ex was like that, bro.
Like, there's some people that come to Vitality and are like,
but
high energy and so nice, but it's genuine.
Ready?
Every time they come, they're like that. But then there's people that one day they come and they're like, oh my god, how was your week? And then the next day they're like, yeah, I'm here for the salt room. And I'm like, what happened to the energy from yesterday?
See, but with those kind of people, don't even think about like matching their energy. Just be you.
Yeah.
No,
be you and let them be, because they're just either on a certain mood or on a certain energy level that day, and let them be.
Just like you said, like the whole thing's like, you look fine, girl. You look great. And to me, it's like, what? Why do you have the fucking need to blow smoke up?
I think in a moment like that, because of the fact that the girl looked at you and looked at the other girl or whatever. Like, she probably felt like maybe she was, like, upset about you saying that. So she's just trying to, like, make her feel better in the moment. So now she's not, like, out downtown the whole time, like, damn, like, my shirt's ugly. Like, oh, I want to go home. You know what I mean? So maybe in that moment it's just to be like, girl, you look good. Don't listen to him. Just so that the girl doesn't keep thinking about the shirt, you know, regardless if it's true or not. But now if the girl generally comes up to her and is like, oh, do you think I should wear this? And she's like, yeah, you look great. And then turn around like, that's fucking ugly. Like, that's fucked up.
You know what was funny, too? What I noticed, as we were walking out of the place, there was this other girl that was standing there. And she just kind of, like, gave me that, like, stare. Like, her eyes were, like, big. And this, like a half smile. Almost drool fell out. You know what I mean? She's just looking at me.
Okay.
That's what it looked like.
Okay, Jay.
Be careful. Yeah. She might give
I'm not
you some
saying.
rabies.
I'm not.
She was Jay is hallucinating.
Jay, she was probably just thinking hard and in a death stare.
Could be.
Or
that's not the point. That's not the point.
Knows?
That is not the point. Because what happened? She also, the girl that was with me, noticed that, and next thing you know, like immediately, when like this, grabbed me, starts hugging me, getting close to me. It's like pretty much like, bitch, it's mine. Like, go away. You know what I mean? Type of deal. I thought that was fucking funny, but yeah, it is what it is.
I don't know. You know what's funny, Jay? You brought up a point on the beginning of the podcast. You asked Emily, do you think that when girls look at your man, it makes them more attractive, right? And we talked, and the reason I think you're asking that is because of things like matrix copying and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're asking. Isn't it funny how it doesn't ever work the same way, the other way around?
What do you mean?
If you're out and about and you catch some dude staring at your girl, you don't think the same thing.
Mm-mm.
No.
Because if the girl...
Even though it's true, right? You should kind of be like, oh, yeah, I have this great... It's kind of like when you have a nice car. If you're driving down with a Porsche and the guy's looking at you like, yeah, I got this Porsche. It's not the same thing with the girl.
No,
really.
so that has
unless it's like some fucking model you're taking out on one night and you're a fucking celebrity or some shit.
That has happened to me. We're in a casino. We're walking and some dude just walks by us. They were going fast, walks by us, and then my girl was next to me. And as he passes by her, he goes, "Oh damn, look at that ass. She looks sexy." I turn around, look at him, and go, "Yeah, that's right. That's why she's with me." You know what I mean? Like that happened, but I kind of like. It's kind of like it's not the same. I wasn't happy that he said that. I had to put him in place by saying that's why she's with me.
Yeah.
Like,
but you're
continue
not happy
with your fucking,
about that interaction.
No, I'm not fucking happy about that. No, I don't
But the
like.
other way around, the girl.
I don't like
when
when guys stare at my girl or anything
Yeah.
like that. I don't like that shit. Don't fucking look at her. Like, who the
But
fuck
the
are
other
you?
way
Don't be a
around,
weirdo,
the other
man.
way
No, I
around,
won't
the
be- I
girl
won't-
won't be happy either.
Yeah, because a lot of times guys will stare, and that's gonna make the girl very uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
No. I'm saying the other way around, as in like if a girl is staring at Eddie, for example, you're saying like, oh, that didn't make me happy, blah blah blah. Like it's the same thing.
It is, but then what that does, that tells you that Eddie's very attractive. There's other women that are looking at him, but he doesn't tell
But
me
is
the
it
same
not the
thing.
same thing the other way around?
No, for
So
me, no, because I don't need other guys'
it doesn't
validation.
register us like that.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying for girls. Like, I mean, there might be some girls that are like, yeah, that's my man's. Look at him how you want. But then there's other ones that are gonna be like,
Well, there's still a jealous factor to it.
well, let me
There is for you guys. There's still like a jealousy territorial factor for you
let
guys.
me ask you this: if none of your girls ever liked Eddie, never said that he's cute, never said anything like that, would you date him still?
I don't
If
think
no
any
girl
of them
co-signed
have.
him,
I don't
and
think
they're
any
like-
of them have. And if they would have, I would have been salty. Like, bitch, why you think my man is cute? Like,
no, because like there's sometimes, oh yeah, he's a cute guy. He's a cute guy. I'm glad like you're dating him or stuff like that.
I mean,
Because in a lot of cases, girls need a cosigner, bro. Like for us, I don't need a cosigner to know this girl is cute.
yeah, I didn't have a cosigner.
No.
My mom, the first day she's met Eddie, said he was ugly. Like, at the time, I didn't really have, like, any, like, close friends like that. And the ones that I did were the ones that set me up with Eddie. And they were like, really? You like him? Like, it was the complete opposite. Like, nobody
Yeah.
around me, I was like, I don't care what y'all say. Like, he's cute.
Yeah, well, you different. You different,
You
dog.
built different.
I got one of the good ones, bro. What can I say?
Yeah.
That nigga
you
had a
different.
low credit score. He still got the loan.
With the low credit score, he gets the best house.
Yeah, I got
Best
great
interest
interest
rate.
on it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to that subject. Go to the next article. 7 avoidable mistakes men make that cause the woman they love to be something or another. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Keep going down.
Damn, I got bad news, babe.
What?
I gotta go take a piss. So we're gonna have to move your microphone and stuff.
All right, so Eddie's bladder is the size of a 3-year-old's bladder. So
I've been drinking a lot of water today.
My ears kind of hurt now that I took these off.
all right, read this a little bit, Miggy.
7 avoidable mistakes men make that cause the woman they love to feel unwanted.
And do you see if you
Whoa,
agree
he
with that or
slammed the
no?
door. He said, fuck this article.
I want to get your opinion about this. Do you agree or
When
no?
a woman feels unwanted in a relationship, tensions arise. Both men and women can go on the attack in a relationship when they feel hurt, let down, or unloved. But more often than not, a pattern gets established where the woman uses a verbal attack to get the man she loves to emotionally engage with her. She will often apply exaggerated words like never or always to describe his unfeeling behavior. Her tone is often critical, and the intensity of her emotion can sound too harsh or manipulative. When women attack men, they don't realize how they sound and how harmful and futile their attacks are. They do not know how much it frightens the man they love. When her emotional expressions result in her partner shutting down or walking away, she assumes that she is being ignored and that he really doesn't care about what she's feeling. This sets off a primitive survival alarm, the fight or flight instinct. He takes flight in order to save his life, and she reacts by fighting to try and get to the bottom of his lack of compassion. Romantic relationships are critical for our emotional and physical health. We quickly begin to regress when we sense that they're in danger. Sadly, this can be an everyday cycle for many couples. It's frustrating, confusing, and painful. It's lose-to-lose scenario. It pulls the relationship apart, causing one or both partners to lose interest rather than strengthening the marital bond.
So go read that. Number 1.
So, number 1, greeting her in an emotionally flat tone. Even though you're tired and stressed out, she wants to know that you look forward to seeing her. In fact, psychotherapist Mary Jo Rapini told Fox 26 Houston that it takes just 60 seconds to set the tone in your relationship. Whether they're meeting you for lunch or they're meeting you at an event or when they come home, it's important you stop what you're doing at least for 60 seconds and greet them. In here. Rapini encouraged. Smile at them. Act happy that you see them there with you.
Jay.
So, would you agree with that?
You're not listening to nothing, Jay.
Huh? I'm not listening to nothing? I was.
There was nothing. We haven't played anything at all.
So, I know, but what they're saying is the first avoidable mistake that may cause a woman to feel unwanted is a man coming home and just replying in a flat tone.
Would you agree with that?
So although you're stressed out and anxious, it'd be nice to give a smile or show some, personality or something.
I mean, not really, because, like...
If you had a bad day, they gotta be understanding.
Yeah, like, or sometimes I'll come home and he, like, come to his house and he's playing video games and he's just like, hey, babe, and, like, continues what he's doing and, like, I'm not gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's... It all depends on the situation. If you're, like, doing nothing, just sitting there, whatever, and, like, I come up to you and I'm like, hey, how was your day? And you, don't respond, then that would be an issue, but I don't expect you every time to be like, oh, my God, hey, how are you? But, like, I don't know.
This next one I feel like is both ways, though. So this next one I see here says, leaving her alone at a social event. I feel like this is both things. This goes both ways, I feel like.
So, but don't you think you would find, like, as a dude, I don't think as a dude I don't know, man. Even if I went to a social event, I didn't know anyone, and I got introduced to people, I feel like, when I talk to people, I'll always, like, crack a joke here and there. It's never, like, flat. So I immediately make friends or people that like me. So even if my girl leaves me, I can always find somebody and talk to them and, like, have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. But you definitely are going to feel some kind of way if, like, you guys get somewhere and she goes inside and you're out there for 4 hours and you never see her.
Well, yeah, no, for 4 hours, then obviously that's dumb. Like, why am I here? Right. I'm leaving after the first 15 minutes.
But I mean,
on my own.
If the social event is, like, a family thing, whatever, or, like, all of your friends and, like, you're outside talking to the guys, she's inside with, like, the girls and kids and whatever, like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a family event, yeah, but if it's somebody that you've never been into. I've never had an issue with that,
like, I've never been like, oh, you left me alone all night at such and such thing. I've had a problem with that.
Lies.
Whatever. Anyways.
Lies.
The only way that I feel like... Because, I mean, like you were saying, you're a social butterfly. Like, you'll find somebody to talk to. I feel like I'm pretty good with that, too. The only way, which, I mean, this has never happened, but I'm thinking, like, I don't know, there's some, like, event, a job that he has, like a Christmas party.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm... That's
I don't know anybody, and I'm, like, kind of awkward. Like, hey, like, at first, at least introduce me, whatever. But, like, if he just gets here and he's like, okay, I'm going to go say hi to so-and-so, and I know nobody, and I'm just like, okay, that I might be mad about, but I don't know.
Yeah, I see it. Go to the next one.
Supporting.
Yeah, I see that. She's throwing shade on that chat. Y'all better hit that button. Y'all better smash.
Validating her feelings. So there may be times where you don't totally agree with her or even completely understand your partner's feelings. In those moments, it may be easy to shrug them off. However, doing so is just like telling her the way that she feels. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because you know what? I do not agree with this. And if they have an issue with this, well, they better learn differently. Because if you feel some sort of way and it's completely irrational, I'm going to tell you that's irrational.
But I don't think it has to do with anything crazy. Like, oh, I'm upset because of this and that. But there's, like, cases. Like, one example I'll give you that I see this happen a lot. Like, the wife will come home, the husband will come home, whatever. They both have jobs. Regardless of what the different job is, the wife will be like, oh, I'm so tired. And instead of saying just like, oh, yeah, me too, and, like, moving on, the guy will be like, from what? I did this and this all day and blah, blah, blah. And, like, almost tries to say, like, you can't be tired because my job is harder. Like, no, the other person can still be tired. Like, that's one example that I feel like it's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even say I'm tired. Like, you know what I mean? Or if, like, you say, like, something hurts or, like, if you feel sick, the other person's like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like, I have this and that. And they try and, like, just make your issues seem like they're not important. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, but a lot of times the issues that are not important, they'll make it seem like it's a big fucking deal, and the issue is just like a fucking tiny issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then again, you're not completely invalidating the other person like it says here. If you explain why you feel that way and you provide solid evidence as to why you feel that way.
When was last time you had a conversation with a girl and she accepted your explanation when she's in that mood? She's laughing because she agrees with me. You cannot reason.
Just the way you said it too, like.
Ready? This is the thing.
Like,
this happens a lot in our relationship where I will say, she'll come and say something, I don't agree, and she feels some kind of way about it. She's already riled up about it, right? In that mood, like you're saying. And she'll try to get me to, like, basically agree with what she's saying. I'm disagreeing, right? I'll say my point, and that's it. Conversation's done.
Done. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And eventually, it goes away.
Yep.
That mood goes away, and that's it. Done.
Yeah. The next day, they'll be like, I can't believe I was thinking about this.
Probably right again, Jay.
It is what it is. I mean, this is life.
Being more animated and having more fun with friends than her.
Bro.
Now, if you're a boring bitch, sorry.
Bro. Girls, like you would say, I've had this many times before. You'll say, I'm having a boys' night out. I'm going with the boys. They will not stop texting you. They will not stop calling you. They will not stop creating fucking arguments. It's almost that they're allergic to men having fun. If you're having fun and she's missing out on shit.
I think that one means like with her, you're like, whatever. And then with the other friends, like you're making jokes, like messing around with the person, like not necessarily going out. But I think that's what it means by like animated and having more fun.
Because let me tell you this, Jay. If you, like, for example, say we're here one day on Friday. And I come in from my room, and I'm going to go outside, and Emily's on the couch, and you and the boys are outside. And I go up to Emily, and I give her a bland-ass kiss, and I'm, like, just high, and I'm dry with her. But then when I walk outside, I'm, like, fucking doing arm drags and giving hugs to the boys, you know?
Yeah.
That's going to annoy her. But if when I come out, and I fucking tickle her and mess with her a little bit, and be a little more animated or fun with her, and then do the same thing with the boys, it's not gonna bother her.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Girls are fucking boring. Girls are boring.
Girls are a little boring.
They are. Just like boys are boring for girls.
Yeah, they are.
I don't think boys are boring.
So that
I'd rather hang out with guys.
We're actually just more interesting.
I'd rather hang out with guys than girls, because girls, it's like, okay, so we're gonna talk about like what's the new makeup products. Guys, it's like more shit that's interesting, fucking computer parts and cars and fucking you.
And that's not even the good shit.
Yeah, that's kind of
that's kind of like the
cap.
shoot the shit
that's
stuff.
Cap. That's cap, and I'm gonna call cap because of this. Whenever you go to a social setting, women will go with women and guys will go with guys.
I think the reason why it's like that is because, like, let's say if all the girls are outside on the couch and all the guys are out back in the backyard. If you're that one girl that's outside with all the guys, all the girls are going to be like, look at this hoe with all the guys, blah, blah, blah. So, like, it's kind of like, well, I guess I'll sit in here and talk to you guys about, like, the kid's life. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if all the girls are inside and you're the one that chooses to be outside hanging out with the guys, like, now you're looked at as, like, look at her.
Do you guys feel like there's that double standard for you guys?
I never knew that.
Do you guys feel like you're looked at a certain way if you're inside with the girls? If you're, like, the only guy in the girls group?
Hell no. Hell no.
I don't personally feel that way.
If anything, I come out and them motherfuckers say something, I'm like, that's right, you fucking bitches, be here while I'm with all the women.
I start
hanging out.
Sausage
party.
I start sausage party.
It. I'm like, yo, what's
I'll
new?
lay
What's
right
the hot
into
tea?
it.
I like it. I like sometimes going and mess with the girls. And
Yeah, bro, that's like the fun part. You go mess with them, make a couple of jokes, crack jokes, you laugh. Anything you laugh more than they do.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It depends on the group as well, because when I'm here with like Lynette, Blanca, like all the girls that like I get along with, like that I'm fine with. But there's been cases where like I'm inside and I'm like, this is so boring. The guys sound like they're having so much fun. Like, maybe I should go outside with them.
We always have fun. We always have fun.
We are having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So
not standing up
for her in front of your children.
Yeah, that would be one thing. If the mom says
should...
even if the mom says some fuck shit to children, I'm like, listen to your mother, I'm going to pull her ass to the side and be like, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, in the moment you can't be going against each other in front of your kids because then your kids won't respect
and
you guys.
I think that's I think that's another thing. Like I would never say something in front of people about my girl or my significant other, even if she's wrong. Like I would never say that's dumb. Don't say that. I'll be like, I would keep it quiet, pull her to the side. I'm like, listen, that was pretty dumb. Don't say that again. You know, I would just keep that private.
That's one thing my dad always told me is never talk shit to about your significant other.
Never, never.
Drinking more than she feels comfortable with.
When the guy drinks more than she feels comfortable with?
I mean, that could be from like some sort of like past
trauma or whatever.
Dude, I know people that cannot handle their liquor.
Emily's bad, man. She says that I can drink as much as I can because she's not gonna help me when I start throwing up.
Oh yeah, you do whatever you want. You're a grown man.
Yeah, I think girls don't like that because a lot of times
and you just went into it.
Yeah, I mean,
because you see,
they're all the shade you want. You're a grown man. You make your own decisions. You drink all you want.
What happens with the guys when guys drink a little too much? They want to continue to party. They want to continue to have fun. And then girl doesn't feel the same way anymore. She's not having as much fun as the guy. Now that
That's
jealousy
not true,
kicks
dude. I
in.
remember on the cruise, he was the viejito that wanted to go to sleep.
Well, on a cruise, yeah. On a cruise, yeah.
I was the party one.
Yeah, you're a litty titty because you're 21. You could drink.
But I'm usually litty titty.
You are. I'm not gonna say you don't. But a lot of times, what the girl would want to go home, and the guy's like, "Fuck no, we're still partying," and she's already tired, annoyed that he's having more fun, and it's like a snowball effect down. So I can see why that would be happening. Betraying her in which way?
Not telling her the truth or becoming emotionally or physically involved with another person fractures every relationship. Trust is the foundation of all love relationships.
Bullshit.
This causes a deep wound of insecurity that leads to her. Oop, I found a typo. Oh wait, never mind. That leads her. Never mind. That leads her to become hypervigilant and question your every move. I like how every time I'm reading these, I'm looking for a typo every time I fuck up.
Bro, that's bullshit. I don't agree with that.
You have to realize that women aren't like. Majority of women are never going to be okay with you just fucking other girls.
She would be okay if she knew you're the best you can find.
They're still not going to be okay with it. Up front and okay with it? No.
No, but as long as they understand that you're coming back to them, they'll be okay with it.
No.
If they are...
That's not a decent woman, then.
If they're a person who doesn't, like, care about you whatsoever, she's just using you type of thing and just putting up a front like, oh my god, yeah, I love you. Oh, yeah, bullshit. Like, as long as you come back, like, do whatever you want. Maybe they will agree, but no other girl, even if she says she's okay with it, is actually okay with it, Jay.
They're gonna be more...
They might tell you...
I understand. They might not like it.
If you're getting them out of the poorness and, like, giving them a good life, they might be like, yeah, that's
a lot of times what they'll say...
Blah, blah, blah. But they're not actually gonna be okay with it. Deep down inside, it's gonna hurt or they're gonna be mad or
a lot of times they'll say, I don't want to know about it. They'll be like, I know about this, but I don't want to know about it. Just don't throw it in my face. A lot of times that's what they'll say. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, it's like, it's because she knows you're the best she can do. She literally knows you're the best she can do. She doesn't want to lose you. She also understands that she will not lose you because you still give her the last name, the ring, the house, the kids.
The other girls are just conducive for the relationship.
But the other girls are just nothing.
But it's still not conducive for the relationship.
But if they're nothing, then why are you doing it?
Now, if I do that and then come back home and then treat her like she's a fucking... She's just like... Treat her like she's a slave or like... you can never get things right. Yeah, no, I get that. No. But if I come back and I treat you just as good as I treated you the day before or the day after, nothing has changed. You're still the number one. Like, if you do come back and, like, dog her out, then
But if you're saying the other girls don't mean nothing, then why are you entertaining it or doing stuff or whatever?
I'm not entertaining. I'm just smashing.
Not entertain. Whatever. Why are you smashing?
because new pussy is the best pussy.
Bye.
Well, because like look at all the. That's actually going to lead into our next article. Look at all the look at all the music clips. They have all types of women dancing in the background. Some of them bigger, some of them skinnier, bigger booty, smaller booty. Why? Because of the variety. Look at porn categories. There are categories out the wazoo for different kinds of it. Why? Because of the variety. Men like variety. Men like the quantity where women like the quality. It's a little bit different. And I think that's what it is. And I think this is a perfect topic to segue. So apparently, P-Hub released their numbers. So this girl, she's been going viral lately. She's a very smart businessman. Her name is Kazumi.
I'm glad I'm not the only man in the room that knows her name.
She's a OF thought. Well, I've seen her in clips, and she's been on Fresh and Fit. She's been on a lot of podcasts.
I've seen her on some clips too.
Yeah, and she literally will go out there, and there will be a party, and then she'll be like, "I really like you," and just drop guys' pants down and just start giving them a blowjob, like literally like that in front of everyone. And she's super smart. I think she makes like close to $2 million a month or something like that. She makes hella money, right, doing this. She's a great entrepreneur.
Party act, by the way. To that. Very good party act.
I guess. I don't know. I've never seen the acts, but I've heard that that's what she does because she always tells about it. Now, she makes hella money. She's been through more dick than, I don't know, than a hot dog factory produced hot dogs, right? But keep going down. And what are the categories that were trending for year 2023?
So
in the top, I think I read it in the beginning.
Article because it's not like a list. So Pornhub unveils its 2023 sex and pleasure
It might be
trends.
one that you have to click like next to actually see the list.
No. This is it. It's written.
Porn performer Sage the Flame shared in episode 5 of Servant Sex. Porn trends often parallel social trends and interests. Ironically, in September 2023, therapy became the biggest green flag not only in porn but amongst single and dating app users, signaling all may not be well with the world. More specifically, therapy and sexual healing stole the spotlight with 344% increase in 2023. Hold on. I haven't finished the article, but is this trying to say that people are looking up therapy in Pornhub?
Yeah, like a therapist, they're smashing their therapist.
Yo, BetterHelp. There's different
BetterHelp.
There's different sources, dude. Sex expert
Nigga said, go
Lori,
talk to an actual therapist, you sick
Sex
fuck.
expert Dr. Lori Batito says interest in therapy during pleasure sessions may be related to mental well-being as well. More and more people, thankfully, are seeking help for mental health and sexual issues, she said. However, at the same time, fantasies involving a patient/therapist relationship turned sexual is quite common, probably because it is taboo and involves a power differential. In real life, clients can experience feelings for a therapist's transference because of the nature of the relationship. The client shares very intimate details of their life and feels safe, and this is an own turn into fantasies of a sexual nature. The forbidden nature of the relationship also may fuel this fantasy. AI and sex tech also continue their reign, with sex machines growing in popularity. More specifically, searches for terms like 3D robot and sex robot grew by 304%. Remember, the NPC aka non-playable character hype on TikTok? Well, that trend definitely led people to Pornhub's newest trends. NPC sex, game NPC, and hentai NPC. Dr. Batista confirms search trends over the years always coincide with what's trending in technology. Right now we're seeing a lot about the development of sex robots, so who wouldn't be curious about that? Also aligning with current TV trends, Pornhub coined the term the Golden Age, referring to its new second most popular category, mature content. This year, ABC's hit series The Bachelor raised the stakes with The Golden Bachelor, which set out to find a match for 71-year-old Gary Turner, which normalized mature love and pleasure. This also suspected to be a 2024 trend in sexual wellness.
Go to Gen Z.
Love Honey. Gen Z, on the other hand, kept it creative, with their top categories ringing in as cosplay, hentai, and interactive porn. Abella Danger stands as Pornhub's most searched porn star of the year, and size queens made their presence known, holding second place in search trends. For more positive content, for more sex positive content,
don't worry about that.
Yeah,
go to that other article that you posted.
This one?
So that's what we got. Pornhub came out with those numbers for this year. So no, the other one that you posted on the Discord.
Anime's been making its boom. I'm not surprised hentai as well.
But do you think that's fucking healthy? Anime, these are not people, bro. These are cartoon characters. Not only like just take porn stars.
But
right?
let me ask you this:
take P stars. They're already acting, so you're already not getting a genuine.
Look
product,
at some
right?
of the pinups that were done back in like war times.
But weren't those pinups done by looking at women?
Yeah, but some of them are pretty cartoonish.
Some of them pretty cartoonish. No, I agree with you. I get that because that was the only way they could take. Because back in the day, women a little more conservative, so they couldn't find as many models, so they had to do these cartoonish pinups, right? Because they needed models. But now you don't have that issue. But Not only you getting P stars that are acting, which is not genuine. Now they're going another step and they're going into the cartoon shit.
I'm not a fan of hentai, but if you want to do what you want to do, man.
Yeah, so the reason I said that, because this girl probably plays off of that. Just her, the way she looks to me, the way that face is right now. I think, doesn't she play off of that? I don't know.
So.
Oh, right. That's that shit we were looking at before the stream started.
Yeah.
So Jay's referring to the girl who was banned off of Twitch because she was displaying a portion of her boobs. So what Twitch did was they changed the rule, allowing artistic nudity in response to the widespread trend of topless.
Well, let me give you some background. This girl is a certified P star. Like, that's what she does. This is her job. She also has a Twitch channel which she gets on Twitch, and that's another avenue for her to earn money, right? And then during this,
what does she do on Twitch though?
Let me show you.
Put the video.
Does she like game or whatever? Or?
Well, I don't know.
We're gonna show you.
But the one that he showed, there was no gaming going on there,
What's
right?
her name again? Meg.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me.
You told me when I googled her.
Marg something.
So anyway, so they changed that
article
category to artistic nudity, right? But when you actually see what she got banned for, I want to see if you guys agree that that's artistic nudity. You know what I mean?
Okay. Morgue Pie. So that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what she does.
This is what she was doing, right here.
I can't show this on stream, but
yeah.
You know what I mean? Titan, thank you for the tier 3.
Oh, nah.
Thank you.
She has to be so like specific about it.
Today, so question: Is that a she?
Yeah, it's a she.
Okay.
Now, here's a question.
Like, these little bones up here look a little sus.
imagine if it's actually a guy.
No, it's a she. It's a she. It's a she.
That's
and
why
look,
she's not showing the pecs.
so then I was right? She's got the cartoon things on the side. Then there's a cartoon character that came out, but she got tipped. Now, do you think this is artistic nudity, or do you think she's just fucking milking the Sims for money?
It's artistic nudity in the same fashion that OnlyFans is.
So
Get the fuck out of here. That's just literally milking Sims for money.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's in the same,
oh, I see what you're being facetious.
Yeah, it's in the same way. In the same way porn is. She's making the money the same way. She's just teasing.
do you think maybe back in the day when they made, let's say, a piece of art or even a piece of art with nudity in it, and then they sold it for money, do you think people looked at it the same way? It's like, wow, what? Like, they're not even working for their money. They're just selling this piece of nothing. It's just a piece of paper.
Well,
and then
I don't know. I feel like art has been respected.
No,
because technically
it is, but then it was more risque, right? Like, it's
art is art to the art of the or what is it?
To the eye of the beholder,
right? So this is art to some people.
Well, that art back in the day was more risque, right? You hang that shit on a wall, and somebody walked in to your house, and you demonstrated this painting that you have, and people are like, oh my god, he's so edgy. You know, that was a way for you to demonstrate that you were cool, edgy, and this and that. But this is literally, to me, this is a money grab. This is a money grab for Sims that don't get laid, that sit there and, you know, jerk off all day long and not make, like, they're just literally in love with this cartoon character of a person that does not reciprocate anything and just literally monetizes and takes people's money.
True.
Would you be okay, Emily, if I wanted to use money for OnlyFans content? How would you feel if your husband wanted to pay for content?
Yeah, no,
what do you mean, like supporting small businesses?
Yeah, bro.
Why do you need to support small businesses if you can just go online and see random people? If it's that, like, it's like a specific person you want to see.
Let me help you. I want to actually help you on this one, Emily. What do you think is worse? You looking at porn or smashing a girl in real life?
We've already had this thing, and I think y'all said porn, or I don't know.
What do you mean it's worse?
Well, what's worse? you as a guy looking at porn when you have a girl at home or smashing another girl?
To her?
No, in general,
Smashing
what's
another
worse?
girl?
Not necessarily to her. In general, what's worse?
Worse for me as a person, or
Yeah.
what do you mean?
No. What's worse? Which
In my
one
opinion,
is worse of a?
what you're asking.
Yeah. What's worse for you?
Smashing another girl.
What about you? What do you think?
I mean, what's worse? I mean, I guess smashing another girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, is looking at porn. Because
so
what
you'd
that
rather
tells
your wife smash another
not my
person
wife.
than
No,
look at
that's
porn?
that's automatic disqualification.
So she can't watch porn?
This is disqualification.
Huh?
No. We're not talking about that. What I'm saying is,
That is what we're talking about.
well, let me finish what I'm saying.
Would you be mad if your wife watched porn?
I wouldn't be mad. I would just question, because usually girls are not that. They're not as horny as dudes. So I would just ask questions at that point.
But what
I mean,
she
if
did?
you have her
You wouldn't be
satisfied,
mad?
she probably wouldn't. But like,
Because if the porn industry depended on women, they would go bankrupt overnight.
I get that.
So that just tells me right away that women in general don't look at porn, even if they're single. Not when she's in a relationship and she's looking at that. Like, to me, that's already questions. Like, why? Because
Okay, but
your levels of
it wouldn't
testosterone
bother
not
you.
It would bother me.
They
It
got
would
that
bother.
mind
Yes,
to muscle
100%.
connection.
100%. Because I understand, like, the biology behind it. Now, to me, it's worse when a dude looks at porn. Why? Because he doesn't have the ability to act on it, so he looks at porn. Because if he had the ability to act on it, he would go smash a girl. So what's actually worse? To me, that's a red flag for a girl. Is like, oh shit, dude is looking at porn. That means he cannot get any. Am I really with the best guy I can possibly get? Because no one else wants him. See what I mean? That's why he has to resort to porn.
Yeah, see, I think you're making this looking for relationships too mathematical.
Yeah. Well, because I understand biology behind it.
Because this whole thing you keep saying, the best one you can get, the best one you can get.
It is the best
Most
one.
of the time when you're thinking about your relationship, it's not about the best one you can get. It's about if I even still like this person. You have to enjoy the person regardless.
Well, okay, so let me put it this way. If there's a certain brand of vanilla ice cream, right? And you eat this vanilla ice cream, it's like, shit, this is the best vanilla ice cream I ate. After that, you try all the other vanilla ice creams before, and like none of them come even close to this. That's the best vanilla ice cream I've ever had, and I'm going to continue eating that ice cream.
But
do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, so
in that case, you're becoming that vanilla ice cream that is the best
Ready?
she can get.
But just the balance of sugar in vanilla ice cream isn't what makes it, right?
No, it could be the balance of sugar, balance of cream, balance of vanilla.
It's the balance of all of it.
Well, correct.
It's the balance of all of it.
Correct.
So
that's why you're the best.
It's
because
not.
you're balanced
so
perfectly.
funny.
But
with
when you
the
say
stuff you
best, you mean
compare
that in
to.
your opinion.
Well, of course, it has to be in her opinion.
Right. Okay.
In her opinion, yeah, because one person best for her might not be another person best for another person, but overall, I think girls are pretty similar in their mode. So if your girl really likes you, I can pretty much.
I think I think that personality types is what changes that.
Yeah, personality types will change that. I mean, some certain looks. Some girls look for that model-esque looking dude. Some girls look that makes a lot of money. Some girls look for different things, right? Like that hierarchy kind of moves
Now I
around.
get it.
But at the end of the day, if a girl really likes you, most likely there are other girls that really like you as well. Because they kind of co-sign each other. They're very similar in the things that they like. They're not that different. Because every girl wants a guy that's 6 foot or taller, makes six figures. You know, that's ideal preference. You know, and if the guy's not there, they're hoping one day he will be. So they kind of all look for the same preferences in a guy. Where we kind of also look for the same preferences in a guy. Small waist,
generally
big booty,
we look
big
for
boobs,
a lot
symmetrical
of the same
face,
things on that scale.
youthfulness.
But what I mean is like I said, personality types is what changes, right? Like someone can't be with a certain kind of person or whatever. This is. So when you say the best, you mean the best for her in her opinion,
She's
or his opinion.
you're the best she can have.
Yeah.
You're the best she can have, because are there better guys than you? Yes, but if she realizes that you're best she can have, then that's it. It's game over.
Do you guys want to watch a funny video I saw today? I wanted to share with you guys.
Do it.
It's the smallest, most dumbest fucking clip. Go to the Discord. Basically, my question is to you guys: what would you do if this thing came hurling at your front bumper?
No way.
Yes way.
There's no way I'm getting this book.
Mo gonna step
He
out.
said he's Steve McQueen.
Going back to see how much he sells that cowboy.
Bro, the way he twirled. What made that fucking thing? He thought he could jump off a truck going 60 miles an hour.
Cow pussy.
He saw some cow pussy on the side of the road. He's like, that shit is mine, boy. That's that prime, USDA prime right
Or
there.
he knew he was going to get. Say, y'all ain't
Oh,
killing
he
me
escaped.
today.
He escaped. He's from that one cartoon. What's it called again? With the cows and all that shit. You remember?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
He
Off
said
the barn or something like that.
I don't know.
He said, you like Tom Cruise? I'm going to show you Cow Cruise. Mission Impossible.
Now, what are you
Jump.
doing if that thing comes howling at your hood? 60 miles
Calling
an hour.
insurance. Here's some hair
He's
on the
not
bumper.
coming howling. He literally just fell and just.
I mean, but that thing probably weighs close to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, your car is going to be a fucking mango. You'll have a lot of
And what do
steak,
you
but it'll
do?
be a
Like,
mango.
what do you do? Do you call your insurance? Hey, I just hit a car. Like, it came
No.
flying.
You
Like,
call that guy's insurance.
I've asked people that live up north that like deers jump out, and they say when this accident happens, immediately film everything, take pictures of, because what'll happen, animals will leave fur on your bumper and everything. That's how insurance agents say, yeah, you hit a deer and it wasn't just like you hitting a tree or some shit.
Yeah.
And then they'll go for that.
You think I can tell him I hit a coyote on my Subaru and that'll replace my bumper?
Coyote on my Subaru.
Yeah, the crazy part is
the
I
coyote
never...
bent your hood, the radiator support,
The
everything.
Subaru's coming along, guys. I got the stuff ordered to get the tune done. Now it's just cosmetic stuff. Literally everything is done.
Nice.
Clutches all together, suspension.
While he's talking about that, go to the next video. The video there's with the Tesla in it.
Yeah, I gotta get basically
That one,
hood,
that one.
hood, radiator support, bumper, and a hood latch, and then get it painted, and that's it.
That's
Which
awesome.
I'm saying that's it. Like it's not $4,000 worth of shit, but it's alright.
Look at this. I thought this was pretty cool.
That's all.
Tunnels only for Teslas.
We are literally
I've
driving
seen
to the
these.
Central Hall right now in the Tesla. Good tunnel.
I like the music in the
We
background.
literally just got in. I saw your photos and I'm going to laugh and say, I just got here. We're leaving.
We lived here 5 years and I've never been
Wait,
down here.
what?
Well,
Yeah.
this has only been open since
Is it,
January of
Central?
2021.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I'm
Yeah.
like, how did I
That's all
miss
the,
that? I know that's my seat.
like all the custom builders.
And I'm guessing they're not driving.
What's the purpose for this
besides what we're doing right now?
So technically, we're just a transportation service for the convention center. Eventually, we will be a transportation service
This
for the
looks
city.
sketch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're
to an
going a little
extent.
fast if they're
Because
the ones
after
driving.
SEMA last year, we did get approved
No,
for
they're not.
30
This is
more miles of
autonomous.
tunnels to be put in.
Okay,
So
that's
there's
We
the
will
cars
work
driving.
with
Stop
our
it.
first
This
expansion
is what El
onto that.
Chapo saw when he
So
was
they're-
running out of prison.
Yeah, they're basically using this car as a taxi, and it's transporting them, passing all the traffic and everything underneath by tunnels. Which is, I thought was cool as shit. You know,
It is pretty cool. This is not the first time I've seen it. What's up, Matt? This is not the first time I've seen that. They've been implementing that. I think they first started in California, right?
Yeah, and I think they were doing the LA and whatever, but you know, he said they got approved.
From what
for
I've
another
heard,
30.
traffic is horrible there, right?
Yeah.
So they need to do everything they can.
Yeah, California traffic is bad. I've done a San Fran during rush hour, bro. Just to go over Golden Gate Bridge took me 3 hours,
What?
and you had to pay $15 to pass it or $10 to pass it.
Shit.
It's weird because, like, when I went to California, like, yeah, traffic is pretty bad, but, like, it flows, if that makes sense.
It
Like,
depends
here,
where. I
if-
agree with
if
that. It
that was
depends
that
where.
many people on the highway, like, you would be completely stopped for, like, such a long time.
The best way
There,
to
even
describe
though
it.
there's so many cars, it just flows. Like, it flows
Well,
slowly,
it's like 8
but it
lanes
flows.
across. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, the way I can describe it, it's Miami traffic, but less of Cuban and Dominican drivers that just came to United States, less of this.
So it's funny because I actually talked to someone the other day, an immigrant person I know that is an old employee of my father's, and she's like, "Yeah, I just got my license." I'm like, "Wait, you have a kid that's as old as me. We went to soccer together when we were like 5 years old, so he's been here. I don't know if he was born here, but he's been here for a while. You just got your license?" She's like, "Yep," and it took me 3 times.
Damn.
20-something years later, she got her license.
Wow. Go to the next video.
But didn't she drive?
Yes,
Oh shit!
she's been driving this
On
whole
a
time.
on a learner's permit?
She's
I
been
know
driving
who it
this whole
is.
time.
Go down, go down.
I know who it is.
Yeah, it starts with a P.
Go down.
I
More,
don't know
more,
her
more,
name.
more,
I
more,
know
more, more.
the son's
More,
name.
one more.
Starts with a
That
D?
video. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so listen to this. I thought this is fucking funny as shit, and I want to see if you guys agree with this.
Training
martial arts is really weird because it's both improved and destroyed my confidence. You know, like when I'm out, I'm like, I think I train a lot more than most people. You know, I think I'm okay. And then I think back to the gym. I'm like, oh yeah, I've also been beat up by men much older than me, women much smaller than me, children, a gym dog. You know, maybe I should be more wary when I'm out. I only go to places I feel safe now, like my gym, my home, any school that teaches Aikido. Training martial arts is really weird because it's both improved and
I thought that was
destroyed
funny
my
as shit.
You know who he kind of looks like? Brian Barry.
He does.
Yeah,
he does look like Brian Barry. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
You
So I
guys
thought,
just call him Brian Barry.
And
Yeah.
even the way he kind of talks.
so I thought that was hilarious. This next article, which I thought really fucking interesting. If you click on it, it's like a hand holding a watch, right? But the article itself is very like misleading. Like the
That's a very
The-
old hand.
yeah
I'm assuming this isn't about watches.
Is that the lady from the Titanic?
Hey, so read the article, the headline of the article. Scientists unlock the secrets of aging and accelerated evolution, right? So secrets of aging, you would think, okay, they're gonna give like something not to age more, things like that, right? But article goes to talk about how evolution is the reason we age.
So aging.
Meaning,
Yeah, go for it.
evolution is the reason we age. Meaning, if we did not age at all and we lived forever, there would be no genetic drift. There would be new people born with genetic drifts. And if that would happen, that would be very, very rare cases. So things would not change. Now, to give you a perspective is, let's say there's a forest and you have 99% of the forest certain type of trees and there's certain type of birds live in it. The other 1% is this other type of a tree that grows, right? And then suddenly something happens within genes of those other trees that are at 1% and they start taking over the forest. What is that going to do? Not only is it going to eliminate the trees that were in abundance, but also going to eliminate the habitat of these birds, right? So now these birds also will have to genetically change to adapt to the new trees.
So the humankind collectively as an organism understands through biology that it has to die to continuously adapt.
Yeah, so if you think of time and
what you're
evolution, if you think of time and evolution as a entity, as a being, that's the best way I could say. If you think of it as a being, that being forces the cells, which will be humans, to age off and die off so you can adapt better to upcoming future and create better and better humans that adapt to certain situations. Now, if you think about it, we pollute our fucking planet, right? Eventually, we're going to need to produce people that can withstand polluted planet. Like, if this trend to continue in another 1,000 years, let's say 3023, the planet's air is going to be extremely toxic for us.
Do you think that, for example, over time, basically what you're saying, like, for example, you know how they used to say, I don't know, they still probably say this, that when you live on the water, you live 10 years longer on average, right? Because of the cleaner air and this and all that stuff, right?
The salt.
Over time, what you're basically saying is that evolution automatically, over time, is going to basically, the kid, me, I would have lived X amount of time living on the beach, but my grandkid could live just as long living in the city due to adaptations kind of thing? Or my great-great-great-great-grandkid or whatever?
No, so what would happen is if you lived in a city and there was a one little tiny gene that changed in you that gave you the same qualities of life as you would live in front of the ocean, that's what you would pass on. Do you see what I'm saying? Now people that live in a city would as long as people
when the change comes, the genes adapt.
Well, no, not when the change comes, the genes adapt to the new changes.
Yeah, right. When the change comes,
Yeah.
right? When your environment changes.
And it's not that genes adapting. It's you give birth to a new genetic makeup, which is your child. Your child will give birth to a new genetic makeup, which I thought is pretty cool.
Is interesting.
As far as the evolution goes.
The article states aging, often associated with gradual decay of bodily functions, remains a natural part of life's journey. However, the emergence of this phenomenon during the course of evolution has long puzzled biologists. Is aging an inevitable outcome of life, or are there organisms that defy its grasp? Can we even envision a phenomenon known as negative aging or rejuvenation, where vital functions improve with age?
So so that's just, and then it goes to explain that there are other organisms that live forever, like jellyfish. Some of them live forever. Sharks can never get cancer; they just continuously grow in size. Things like that because of the cartilage. But actually, this leads into my next topic.
Sharks can't get cancer?
No, because they don't have bones, so they're just cartilage and they continuously grow.
Okay.
So sharks don't get cancer. Now this topic leads me into this new book I was reading, and it's called The Glucose Revolution. And it's a super cool book because the first 20% of the book, it actually explains what glucose is and how glucose works, right? And I found an interesting part where he says that scientists have discovered when there's free radicals of glucose in your body that you cannot digest through improper feeding and too much glucose intake, it attaches to your cartilages and things like that and changes the color from white to brown. So when children are born, their cartilages and everything are white in color, but then as more glucose attaches to it, they use the term, I think, glucosinates or something like that, and it becomes brown. So that browning of the cartilages starts actually making it becoming older and older and older. Okay. And eventually the cartilage is no longer viable, so it doesn't work, like collagen and things like that don't work, and that's why your face starts drooping and so on and so forth. So theoretically, if you eliminate completely the glucose out of your diet, you should be living a lot longer.
Really?
That's what they're saying. Now, when they're talking about glucose, they're talking about refined glucose and fructose specifically, because when you take glucose into your body has some protection methods. One of them is it makes glycogen out of it, which means basically attaches the glucose molecules to each other, becomes a chain, and it gets stored in your liver and in your muscles. That's where you have that immediate source of energy. Okay. That's why a lot of those energy drinks will give you caffeine. Give you caffeine and sugar.
Putting up chat for me.
And they give you caffeine and sugar, right? And on those energy drinks, which kind of stores that glycogen within your muscles, so you have the energy. Now, if it doesn't get used, that gets converted into fat cells. Okay. And now you start growing fat. So your body has natural ways of protecting itself from glucose. However, fructose, which is the next step down in digestion of glucose, cannot be attached to each other. So when you eat a fruit, especially very sweet fruit, it has both. It has glucose and fructose in it. So your body deals with glucose, but fructose no. So it floods your system with fructose, and then it has to flood your system with insulin in order to deal with the sugars, right? So a lot of times you'll go and people say, well, eat more fruits, they're healthy. Agree, they're healthier than a old brand raisin cookie, but they're not as healthy as the vegetables, for example, right? And so the whole book goes about talking about how you should eat, not what you should eat or what you should cut out, but how you should eat. Meaning basically, like the gist of it is, when you're having a dinner, let's say, have your fibers first, which means broccoli, full of fiber. It just kind of hits your stomach, and then it goes directly out. Like you don't really intake any of that. Not only that, it creates this like a jelly type of coating on your stomach and your intestines, where next they say eat proteins and fats, which act in a similar fashion, and then only then the glucose, right, the sugars, which is like rice, starches, or even desserts, or even fruits, because then the absorption of fruits is not as quick and your insulin is not spiking, thus you pretty much shit out the glucose, right, versus intaking it.
What's the name of this book again?
Glucose Revolution.
Yeah,
so this girl, the way she did it, she apparently went on a glucose on a glucose monitor, which gives you instantaneous data of glucose monitoring, like what's going on in your body, and she started recording everything, and then she started seeing that this works, told her friends started looking into this a little more, and then became this whole Instagram community where people started reporting back. So it became this like huge study of people, like self-reported study of people. What did Matt say?
He said Jay was the one that told me years ago to eat Starburst after every workout. Been doing that or other sugar ever since.
Yeah, so like Starburst or like gummy bears, couple of them are really good because they just replenish, but you got to eat only like handful. Like, or you can eat an apple right after because it replenishes your glycogen supplies right away into your muscle super quickly. But like 2-3 gummy bears, because it's got the gelatin, got the sugar in it. Starburst the same way, but you can't overdo that shit. So yes, he's right.
All right, I think we're good for today, right? We did like an hour, a little over an hour and a half today.
Hey, wait. Matt, when you coming over? I'm putting you on the spot. When you coming over? How's next week, Tuesday or Thursday? You pick a day, or you can come on both.
And you let us know, man.
Yeah. Let me know when you're coming over. We can't wait to see you because you got a new business venture going. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, he was on. We were back at.
Yeah, you started putting videos out. I want to talk about this a little bit more.
Yeah.
So please let us know when you're coming.
All right.
Yeah, he's gonna get a minute delay before he hears this message.
But besides that, he can hit you. He can reach out to you
for sure.
Besides that, guys, I thank you everyone for coming. Make sure to check out Vitality. Yeah, I'll have a good night.
We'll talk. Perfect.
Cool.
Thank you.